Kia ora Aries, and welcome to my channel, Tarot by Amber's Sun, ko Amber tuku ingoa, no mai, haere mai. Welcome. My name's Amber and I'm going to be doing your collective Aries tarot reading for the month of May 2023. These readings are general, so please don't take them if it does not resonate. If it resonates for you, then that's great. Like and subscribe to support my channel. And remember that it is just tarot. So yeah, don't take it too seriously, and we'll get into the reading today. For this month, I'm going to be using the Crow Tarot, and I'll use the Eternal Bones Tarot to clarify. So let's see what's in store for Aries Collective for the month of May 2023. I'm going to pull the cards first, and then I'll start reading the messages. Our first card out is Death. Strength. Some of you maybe, I really feel that some of you are getting over an ending, the ending of something that's quite significant. So, as you know, with death, it's usually an ending or the loss of something significant. And it's also transformation. So yeah, I was feeling some kind of heartbreak. Some of you may be coming out of an ending of a relationship, or the ending of something that is, yeah, we have the Three of Swords underneath the Death card, and we also have the Five of Pentacles under Strength, but we do have Justice, we have the Hierophant, so a lot of majors. One more card for Aries. Thank you. And we have the Ace of Cups. Nice. So Aries, this ending, I feel like it's something that you're kind of healing from. I'm surprised that the Four of Swords hasn't come out, but we do have Death card with the Three of Swords, so this is an ending of something that was very hurtful, okay? This ending, created something that was very hurtful, very much disappointment, heartbreak, okay? And this ending could be a connection. It could also be the loss of a loved one. So there's a lot of grieving is what I'm picking up for Aries, okay? Immediately we have a lot of grieving. And so this grief is obviously, it's a catalyst for a rebirth. But there's also the very real feeling of having to deal with that grief, okay? And some of you may be still in that grief period from the previous month, because it feels like current energy. We also have the Strength card, so strength after death. So then I see that this grief period, you're coming out of it, and it's requiring you to have to use your inner strength, okay? Probably having to dig deep within those places inside oneself that we are forced to go to in order to tap into our strength, tapping into that inner strength, okay? And some of you may also have some kind of animal, maybe a pet I'm getting. It's providing comfort. Some of you may be seeing signs from animals, in particular birds. But I see you here with the Strength card, really having to dig deep to pick up the pieces. Some of you are picking up the pieces from the ending of something that was very significant to you. And also this feeling of grief is coming, also the energy of grief is coming through the Five of Pentacles, okay? And it may be quite isolating. You may have gone through or may be going through this now, this period of isolation, through having to heal the loss and the sorrow and the heartbreak of an ending or the loss of someone significant. It does feel like a person. We also have these red poppies in the background, which is significant because we just had Anzac Day last week, and that references to the Australian and New Zealand soldiers that went to go and fight in the war. So there's also something to do, it's something about a remembrance. So it could be also the loss or the grief of maybe an anniversary coming up, or something significant around remembrance of a loved one. I do see the flowers in this lion's mane. That seems to be significant. Again, I'm getting the energy of like a remembrance ceremony, or perhaps some of you are actually, in the mourning process of a loss of a loved one. And this can also refer to, when you, for example, like the loss of a job, or, the transition of one phase or one chapter into a new chapter. Again, we have here the Four of Cups. Some of you may be feeling quite isolated and just not wanting to talk to people is what I'm picking up, or be around people right now. Some of you may also be going to church. Church may be significant with the Hierophant here. Perhaps going to a service or some kind of church or religious service for strength, for spiritual guidance. We have the Justice and the Ace of Cups. So there's something here about it's almost like a restoration of love, of emotion. So if you are going through a loss, there's definitely here some kind of justice to do with the restoration of your emotion, because there's a loss of emotion here and also a rejection of emotion of a cup. But it's finding the strength, I feel, within yourself to fill your cup of emotion back up. And this may require you to lean on spiritual advice, knowledge, guidance. So I'm going to get a few clarifying cards. So let's clarify the Death. And if you are going through some grief right now, I don't mean for this reading to be triggering, but I do need to give the messages. So Death, please, can you clarify Death? Magician. Perhaps for some of you, this loss was something that you manifested in some way. Now, I don't want to get too tricky because I am feeling the energy of the loss of a loved one. But if this isn't to do with that, and it's just the loss of a phase, a job, a relationship, the transitioning of one chapter, one phase into the next phase, then it is something that you've manifested in some way, because we have the Magician here. It was something that you knew had to change or had to end, and in some way you created that with the Magician. And so, tell us more about this heartbreak with the Three of Swords. Yeah, I'm just looking at the two crows here. We have one crow sitting on one of the swords and then another one flying off. So it could be a separation, could be a separation of a marriage, of a long-term connection. And then we have the Queen of Wands. Yes, stepping into one's power, stepping into the Magician and the Queen of Wands. This is something that you, in some way, were prepared for, or kind of knew it was coming. Strength, clarify the strength. World, yeah. The ending of one chapter, of one phase, in order for the next chapter to start. And I feel like with the World card, it was a successful completion as well, because you learned all the lessons, right? And that's where the strength is coming from. You wouldn't be able to rely on your inner strength if you didn't already have some kind of understanding or some kind of experience of how to tap into your inner strength, or you've had experience before and that's what's helping you to come out of this grief, this loss, and you've been successful at it. I'm seeing a lot of positive energy driving this loss, this change, this grief. So it's almost like triumph over adversity, triumph through hard times, triumph through grief. Again, we have this flower, this rose, and the rose is in the mane of the lion. It's like a blossoming, a blooming from this pain, heartache. It's like you wouldn't have been able to blossom or bloom into your fullest capacity if you didn't learn the lessons from that chapter, or from the ending of a chapter. Tell me about the Five of Pentacles. Justice again. We have justice twice. So this was something that needed to happen in order for justice to prevail. So the right through an ending, something here balanced itself out. Like karma came in and balanced it out, although the feeling and the emotion was is quite pulling and tugging. I feel like that's just the outcome of what you experience from a loss, right? But the justice is here twice over this Five of Pentacles. So you may have been left out to feel isolated in some way from this loss, but in actual fact, it was giving you back your restoration and your justice in this situation. Although the emotions and the grief are here, clearly, and the isolation, and probably there's also a feeling some of you didn't receive the support that you needed. The support just wasn't there. And it's through that realization and that isolation that you have received justice in some way. Okay, and divine had its hand all over this, because the two blindfolds, it's like you couldn't see, you didn't see this coming, but you felt it. You had to go through the feeling, and the justice kind of came to speak on your behalf. Someone may have spoken on your behalf or stood up, and for some of you this could be a court case, but there's a real sense of justice prevailing, or karma balancing itself out. And it may be that somebody else, like a representative, like a lawyer, kind of stood up for you and explained, had your voice or backed you up. If it's not that kind of, it's that kind of an energy. And you may have been given some kind of apology, but you refused it, or you are refusing it. But there's an offer here of some kind of like sincerity, or let's see, Four of Cups, Judgment, and the Devil. Yeah, so this justice is giving you, so hang on, we've got a few we're changing the storyline a bit. They interconnect somehow, but again, just take what resonates. So there's some kind of justice here for you, some kind of karma, a balancing of the scales. We have Judgment, and with the Devil. So this judgment was around something that was done to you that was of a devilish nature. So it wasn't fair, okay? The Justice card here, twice with the Devil, something wasn't fair to you. Something or someone or some situation was extremely hard for you to let go of, caused a lot of grief, sorrow, isolation, required you to dig deep for the strength. You've had to complete, take this energy as like past, present, or to come. But the world here is completing a cycle, chapter. There was some kind of, or coming, some kind of apology to do with forgiveness and putting a rest to the past mistakes. So, but you're rejecting that because of all this that happened and the unfairness. But Judgment is asking, and I will have to, is asking with the Hierophant, that spiritual knowledge with the Judgment, is to try to forgive. And this doesn't mean that you have to accept the apology or accept the offer of could be justice. Some of you may be receiving an apology, or you're definitely receiving something here that's being offered to you as a way of making the situation right, making justice. But I see that you don't want to really take that offer. But with the Hierophant, the spiritual lesson is to forgive, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to accept an apology, as long as, I guess, with the Hierophant, you forgive on your own terms, because then that releases you from the past heartache, past grief, and it will restore your Ace of Cups as well. So whatever's happened here is going to be restored with that Ace of Cups, because that's a new beginning. That's also unconditional love. So whatever was lost, is justice is going to prevail, and you're going to receive that restoration of emotion again, which is really lovely. Let's see, Hierophant, Two of Swords, yeah, so indecision, you weren't able to make a decision. It was quite tough for you to be stuck, and you may have been stuck in this predicament because it was unfair and it was unjust, and it could be around a marriage for some of you, or a commitment, a divorce perhaps, but it wasn't fair, and you weren't able to make any decisions until this justice has prevailed, And tell me about the Ace of Cups, please. Ace of Cups. Lovers. Nice. Lovers with the Ace of Cups. So perhaps some of you are leaning on the support. You have this beautiful support person here with the Lovers that's restoring your cup of love. So this could be for some of you, if you've lost a loved one, you have this beautiful support of someone that's close to you, whether it's your significant other. If this is a divorce situation or a relationship ending, then there is someone here that's coming to restore your emotions again, and they give unconditional love. And this doesn't have to be a significant other, this can be a friend, a family member, but they're coming in strong to help support you. If this is an ending, like I said, of a relationship, then this could be a new person coming in, because the Ace of Cups is a new love, right? New beginning. And this could also be your Justice. So tell me about this Justice card. Tell me more. Temperance, beautiful. Temperance with the Four of Swords. Love it. Healing. So much healing is happening here for you. So whatever was lost, it's definitely coming into balance, along with this new beginning in love, with this beautiful support. So Temperance is clarifying the Justice card. So this unfairness is now, and I'm just seeing all these scales. We have the scales here. We also have the scales in this Temperance card, which is unusual because we do see. And then we had scales again with the other. I'm sure I saw scales somewhere. Okay, maybe not. It was just this Justice card. But with the Temperance as well. So it's coming back into balance, coming back into harmony, coming back into healing. We also have the balance of the Four of Swords. That is taking time for your restoration. And like I said, the restoration of your emotions, because there was a draining of emotion from this situation. It's now coming back to you, and it's overflowing by the end of April. So I think that's really nice. And this crow that's kind of flying away, that separation, we have a crow that's coming back in. So whether it's a restoration of this connection for some of you who are separated, or a new person coming in, it's beautiful. So I'm not going to do any oracle cards this month. I'm just going to leave it here. So I hope you were able to take something from it, Aries. If this resonated for you, then like and subscribe to support my channel, and I'll see you again at the next reading. Ka kite anō.